Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Hot Takes with Liz and Jonathan. I am Liz Wheeler-Hayek with Exertis Almo, the Samsung BDM, and we have our lovely guest, Mr. Jonathan Brawn.
Lovely.
Welcome back, Jonathan.
Oh, well, thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me back on. I appreciate it. And as always, I got to thank the audience. You're willing to subject yourselves to this again. Hopefully we have some good information for you today.
Awesome. I think we have. I think we've really touched on a topic that's pretty new and exciting. And we've talked a little bit about what VXT is. We've talked a little bit about what the benefits to VXT are. And now let's get down to the nitty gritty, right? We have a customer that has an opportunity with an end user that's been using MagicINFO for a long time, and they have things installed all over the place. It sounds a little daunting.
Yeah.
How can we make this process simple and easy for our customers and their customers? How can we help them?
So
How can we help?
that is a great question. Thank you for asking that. It's almost like we planned it. The reality is, this is a scary thing, and I'm going to speak directly to our audience for a change. I appreciate our witty banter, but I want to actually address the audience directly for a moment. Every time you get into an opportunity where you've got a customer and they have CMS platform A and they want to move to CMS platform B, and they may have legitimate reasons, they may have a lot of them. It may just be they want to change. It may be a pricing thing. Whatever their justification is, it seems scary. This does not have to be. So to your point, Liz, what's been going on with Samsung, 14 years of MagicINFO, this new product's out. They've been trying to work on methodologies, and my team has been helping with that. We've been tasked with some of these particular parts of the program to develop a migration plan for a customer who says, love MagicINFO, love Samsung, want to buy some new screens, want to update. We want to move into the cloud from on-premise. So we had MagicINFO on-premise. We want to go to a modern cloud system. We're in MagicINFO in the cloud. We really like what VXT offers. We want to migrate. How does that work? So the good news is, as I mentioned in, I think it was our last session where I talked a little bit about display compatibility, or it might have been the first VXT call. It all blends together. It's a fun topic, so I genuinely am enjoying this. We've got built into a lot of the new screens, it's just a switch. And there are tools like Tizen Business Manager or even MagicINFO itself that can be used to help with making some of those adjustments through remote management, where you're changing the mode of the display from MagicINFO to VXT, although the new screens ship set to VXT already, or you have to push a firmware update, and then which you can trigger through something like Tizen Business Manager is a free tool for like the B generation products. We can trigger that firmware update. So there is a little bit of a touch for those. It's not zero touch, but it's pretty painless. For older screens that we're converting, like let's say we had a QBR series panel, that would require a little bit of a reconfiguration. If they're on MagicINFO, you can do it through MagicINFO, where you're just going to tell it moving the server address to the VXT one so it downloads the app. And then anything older than that, so pre-2018, we'd have to add a media player to it. So yes, that's where it gets a little more heavy lift to do. But what's usually most daunting for people is the server side stuff. Oh, I've got all these schedules and playlists and content, and the screens are already set up and configured. What do I do, right? How do I get that do I have to build all that again? It could have been years to fine tune all this. And so the good news is the Samsung team has been continually working on and developing some tools to say, okay, you've got an on-premise MagicINFO install. You want to migrate up to the cloud. Let's have you download this program. We'll get on a remote session with you. We'll migrate all of your stuff over. Or, oh, you're in MagicINFO Cloud. We can engage with the NOC team that manages MagicINFO Cloud to migrate you into VXT. And so there's a couple of caveats. All your display hardware does need to support it, or you need to be willing to add media players where necessary. Not a huge problem. We talked about that extensively at the last discussion. Well, as extensive as we can in 10 minutes, right? But we talked about that, so that's not too bad. And then basically the only thing that can't seamlessly migrate, and this is going to be you have to know what MagicINFO is and have used it to recognize this, but LFD files. So things created in the web author I talked about in the last video, those don't migrate because that's proprietary to MagicINFO, and Canvas uses different files. So that's the one exception. But hopefully that'll give a little peace of mind to everybody out there in the audience that This is not as scary a process as it would necessarily be. There's a lot of support available from Samsung. It's a great value add. And a lot of CMS companies don't do that. Even the ones that just do CMS software, they don't offer that kind of migration. I mean, to be fair, we're migrating from our product to our product. So, but it really does, it really does make things a lot simpler. And so I think that's, again, part of that great discussion that all of our reseller partners out there in the audience can have with their customer. Hey, we've got the new story to tell, right? But then customer gets cold feet and says, "Oh, I don't really like the idea of migrating. It's going to be a pain in the backside." Clean that up for you. The reseller can already be enabled to say, "Hey, no, we thought of this." So the good news is, I'll go back to our audience again. If you do have a customer that's interested, get in touch with your Exertis rep, who can make sure you're in touch with our wonderful Liz here. And she can help engage the Samsung team. My team may be part of that discussion where we'll basically have a call with you. We'll review the customer's existing display hardware, make sure everything's good. We'll get you all the guides and guidance. We'll engage the internal teams to activate those tools I just talked about to help with that process. So we're there to help hold your hand, make this a lot less painful than it could be. And I think that's a great kind of cherry on top of the sundae of all the cool things we've gotten to talk about with VXT, because if it was going to be really difficult to switch, nobody really would, to be fair, even as great as the product is. And this makes it a lot simpler.
Absolutely love it, Jonathan. And what a great, and you mentioned it, a value add. And that's exactly what we're here to do, right? The last thing that we want is our customers and their customers out there flapping in the wind going, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what's going to. We have you as a resource. We have the team as a resource. And that's what we love to do, right? Is help our customers. That's what we're here for.
Exactly. And if anybody has opportunities, we're more than happy to help with demos. As always, my team has been working with the Exertis folks on that for ages, and we're happy to help continue. So if you've got a great opportunity, please reach out. We'll be more than happy to engage and assist. We do trainings as well. If you want to learn more about VXT, we can go through and conduct a training for you too. Whatever we can do to help support everybody's efforts, we're there.
Love it. Jonathan, thank you as always.
Thank you.
We wouldn't be able to have the knowledge that like I say all the time, I got to go to the smart guy. So thank you as always for all of your help and giving us so much information on VXT and holding our hand as we transition over to VXT for MagicINFO.
It's truly my pleasure.
Thank you everybody for joining us. And have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.